Welcome everyone. Today is episode 2 of the Background Evan podcast. I'm your host, Darius Santos. I'm here with Xavier, Dan, and Steven. And let's just jump right into it, guys. So,
What's going on, everyone?
So I just want to say welcome back. Thanks for, if you tuned into episode 1, thank you. If not, welcome. Hopefully you got a good introduction to us. If not, go check out episode 1. Pretty good.
Link in description, by the way. Don't forget to drop a like and sub if you can. Feel free.
Please do.
No, I'm not putting that in the description.
Read the comments. We'll read all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only 5.
Yeah, we'll read all 5 of those comments.
No, more than 5 comments this video, okay?
Yep.
It's the goal.
so check real quick.
Let's try.
Alright, yeah, we're good.
Alright, so Kevin isn't here with us right now, unfortunately. So Darius is the cameraman for this week's episode.
Thank you, Darius.
Yep. Alright, first topic.
So I just want to say what happened and then give a
Yeah, sure. Darius, you want to start this off?
Alright, so based on my knowledge, all I know is that there was a 15-year-old teen who went to the Oxford High School, and he shot out of school. He was originally in the bathroom, and that's when he started opening fire. Apparently, after the shooting, there have been cases of which the child had mental illnesses, his parents were involved, or cases where the kid did not have any mental illnesses. But I'm pretty sure we're safe to say that this kid really did have some issues.
He did.
I do remember reading an article that was regarding his mental illnesses. He used to carve on his desk that's, and I quote, "The thoughts are still happening, the thoughts will not stop, help me." This is regarding his intention to start his mass murder.
So no one saw that. Did anyone see that?
Yes, teachers.
And they didn't, did they check up on him?
They did. They sent him to the guidance, right? They sent him back.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's
Didn't do a good enough job.
They didn't do much. The thing is, the reason why we're bringing up topics like this in our podcast is because we know that we're teens, we're currently in high school. This problem, mass shootings that happen in school, these are problems that affect us and affect, I'm assuming, our target audience, which are mostly teens. This is problems that affect us, me personally, sometimes I'm scared to go to school because every time I hear about things like this, I genuinely am terrified. And things like this can genuinely be stopped if the teachers, the people in those schools, the students, they notice the signs and they do something about it. Things like this can be prevented. It's frightening, Sometimes when I hear the fire alarm go off in school, I'm terrified because, I heard about some school shootings, they turn on the fire alarm to get people out of the classroom so that they could, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, I can never imagine being in that kind of position in school, because Steve had drills, or what's the word called? We had
Shelter in place.
yeah, shelter in place.
Lockdown.
Yeah, and false alarms.
false alarms,
False
bomb
alarms.
threats.
A couple of weeks ago, there was a threat to the school and we had to go in lockdown.
We had 2 within a week.
Yeah.
2 of those
Yeah.
within a week.
It was terrifying.
Fortunately, they were all just threats that happened, really actually happened.
I heard this from Florida. I was in the culinary room at the time, and everyone there was jokingly, and we were laughing, because we're thinking it's a drill.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh, if something happens, go to the door." It's a culinary room. You're not. So we're all sitting at the door, and the teacher's like, "Oh, come back, sit down," yelling at us. All a group of kids just at the door with the knives, standing there waiting for someone to open.
Actually?
And then someone actually did knock on the door, and it was not. We didn't actually have the knives, but we were all waiting at the door. Sorry. She didn't open the knife drawer. I didn't want to discredit my culinary teacher. She did great. But we were all at the door just waiting. We were saying, if something happens, we grab the knife or we grab the chair and just whack them. And someone knocked on the door, and we were like, what the? And they opened it up. There was kids that went to the bathroom. We were like, oh my god.
Yo.
But it's just that scary feeling when,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just.
So wait, how many were how many were killed and wounded, you know?
I did not check how many were killed.
I know I know at least 3.
5 were injured, 3 were killed, I think.
I think it might have been more
Wait,
than
4?
three.
I think it's 4.
Was there reasoning for the people who like died?
No,
Was
he
it-
just killed them.
Just
yeah,
for no
yeah,
reason.
he just like he literally just stepped out of the bathroom, and then he was just shooting people left and right. They used a particular vocabulary word to start with an M, and it was describing about how he was walking. And when I read that, it was pretty chilling.
Oh, methodical.
Methodical. You know, he had a methodical walk. I don't know what that word means, but if you can look it up, that'll be very helpful.
So
Yeah, I'll
one of
look it up.
the students, right? I'm pretty sure one of the students, who was a football player.
I saw that.
Yeah, he tried to disarm him.
Yeah.
He tried to
What?
disarm
Oh
him.
yeah,
Is he
yeah,
here?
he sacrificed himself for that.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he die? Was he one of the people who died?
He did. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's really sad.
do you know what was the football player's name?
His name is Tate Mayri. Sorry if I mispronounced
Yeah, sorry.
mispronounced that, but he's a football player on their team, and I'm pretty sure he like slowed him down so that
Yeah.
other people could eventually get to him and stop him. He wasn't able to, obviously, survive the encounter, but he slowed him down
Yeah.
for as long as he could, and other people were able to.
Do you know what weapon the
Something
kid was using?
Oh, it was a gun that his parents gifted him
Oh, yeah.
on Black Friday.
Yeah, the parents.
The parents.
They bought a gun.
The
on
parents
Black
were
Friday.
just as guilty.
Yeah,
I
they
saw
were.
that.
They
I'll-
were.
I'll-
They said
They're
they
still
said
on the hunt. They're still on the
Yeah,
hunt.
I'll say something in a second about the parents. So Darius, you asked me what methodical.
Yeah.
It's like its definition is done according to a systematic or established form of procedure. So it was like methodical, like there's method. So it's like he knew what he was doing.
Oh,
He planned
yeah.
it out. Yeah. So like, yeah, like it was gone like according to like his plan or whatever.
This is
Yeah.
coordinated attack.
Yeah, coordinated. So like the parents, like I heard
I saw the
that-
message.
Yeah, like the mom, she said like she had like a texting conversation with the son.
Remember I told you about this in the car ride?
Yeah, after the massacre, right? After the shooting, and
After the
after the shooting, right? The mom texted the son saying, "LOL, I'm not mad. You have to learn not to get caught." So the mom did not
This is
care.
after.
Dude.
Yes, the mom did not care whatsoever.
She might have known, dude.
She may have known there was a problem and
Yeah.
thought
Just
maybe
did
she had
not.
been joking, but at the same time, the fact that she joked about it should be
Mhm.
like if she was, that should already be there.
Yeah, like you have to learn not to get caught. Like your son
That's-
just murdered a bunch of kids.
Dude.
What is wrong?
Just committed like a massacre, basically. He
Yes.
wounded so many people as well.
Like and it's like children, like kids that are like our age.
But the fact that this was coordinated, the fact that he took the time and actually planned this, I think it had to do with the amount of thoughts that he was having. As I said earlier, he carved on the table that the thoughts were still occurring.
Yeah.
He needs help.
Yeah.
Which brings me the question, brings up the question, was he suffering from mental illness? Or was this just
I think it's too
his
early to
intention?
decide. Too early to know, you know.
Yeah.
It's too early to know because I've seen like this one video on YouTube from it was like this guy. I'm not sure if he's like a psychiatrist or anything, but he said it's like how to tell if people are like faking mental illness or how
Yeah.
like people that
Talking about
pretend to be insane. It was like Nicholas Cruz. He was the kid that shot at the Stoneman Douglas school in Florida. He was like acting like he was like mentally deranged while he was being interrogated after like the shooting
So
happened.
the excuses that we're trying to put, like he used that as his excuse.
Like I'm not saying like the shooter of like the Oxford school, he's like using mental illness as an excuse, but that could happen. Like he could have just been like like a bad like a generally like bad person. He couldn't have had like any mental illnesses or whatever, because like Nicholas Cruz, he was like faking it. He was acting like he
Yeah.
had voices in his head and stuff like that.
Sure,
I
sure.
think it was the same thing I was talking
Yeah.
about with Darius. Like
Yeah.
he was looking at the ceiling,
Mhm.
pretending he saw like ghosts or something.
Yeah, and he was
So-
he he was acting normal, but then he like looked up and saw there was a camera. Then he started acting like he was deranged.
Yeah. Like for myself.
I can't imagine what it must have been like thinking as that person. What thoughts are going through your head that you know you're about to commit something so terrible and just take lives of other people. Just
Like,
doesn't
I
make
cannot
sense.
like get behind the mind of a school shooter. Why one would like just have those thoughts of causing so much pain and trauma to people that did not like incorporate, did not cause any of their pain or suffering, right?
Yeah.
Because like
They hate
some
themselves.
school shooters, like they were bullied, they had depression, and
It's
other
not
people
justifiable, but it's like
other
it's
people
an
might not.
understanding
Yeah.
It is.
why it could happen. Makes sense.
But then, like, why would they cause pain towards people that didn't contribute to their own pain?
Because they hate themselves. That's the most common cause. Because just because they hate themselves, they feel like it's justifiable to take it out on others.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. Yeah, I feel like I've never seen a YouTube video regarding some kid who was planning on shooting up a school on YouTube. He was like, I hate my life, I hate this world, and I want to take it. So that's what he did. He made that attempt to take it.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was, but I've seen it in sociology once. But
Yeah, it's insane. Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine just being one of the students in that school, like not knowing whether or not you're going to ever, like, see your parents again. Like, it was just normal day at school until, like, something happened. That's what I'm like afraid of, you know, cause like, this, it just happens, like, I feel safe in school somewhat, but it's like, sometimes
You're supposed
it's
to feel
just,
safe in school.
yeah, but sometimes I just don't. I'm terrified most of the time, cause it's like, every time I hear the fire alarm go off, every time I hear, like, that we have, like, a shelter in place, even if it's just a drill, I'm like, are they saying, like, I don't know, just, yeah, it's just been, I'm not trying to make this about me or anything, that's not my, I'm just, like,
you're-
explaining,
You understand what
yeah, my, like, thoughts about, like, this whole thing, like, damn, I don't think I'd ever realize how, until, like, I don't think I would ever, like, really know how it feels to be in that situation until it happens. Hopefully it doesn't happen. I don't want that to happen. But, like, I don't think I'll ever know how it feels, and I don't really wanna know how it feels, but I'm still, like, you know, again, terrified that one day, like, you know, I guess maybe, I don't know, something like that would happen to, like, us, you know?
yeah, it's very similar to what Dan was saying when I think it was you and other people who were preparing for, let's say, an intruder broke in, and you were about to throw a chair at him and stuff like that. It's like you wouldn't know if you would actually do it unless you were in the situation. It's also similar to what Mrs. Montana was saying. Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
No faith in me.
Sorry. Like, we don't know what the lives of, we don't know what actually occurred. Well, we know what actually occurred in 9/11, right?
Yeah.
But we just don't know the
We can't, like,
fear. We
yeah.
can't relate to them unless we were actually in the situation itself.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much we know about
Yeah,
it.
that
I
was,
agree.
yeah, that was kind of what I was, like, going for right there. Like, I don't, like, I can't imagine being in that situation, but I still worry that, like, you know, that something will eventually, that would happen, you know? And I know that's pretty much, like, I talked to my mom about this. She said that's kind of like the people that commit these shootings they want us to be afraid. But, like, and if we are afraid, then they won.
Yeah.
They won. They had power.
They have power over us. But, like, at the end of the day, it's just, does our school really do enough to prevent this stuff from happening?
Yeah, like, couldn't this been easily prevented?
Exactly. There were
It
clear
can.
signs that the kid that something wasn't right up here for, like, you know, for the kid that committed this massacre. There were signs that he was messed up in the head, but it just went unnoticed, you know?
Or, like, no one reported it, no one.
Yeah, I feel like, and a lot of people argue, like, this is why, not to change the subject, but people think this is why you should be allowed to, like, carry in school. Like, some teachers think they should be allowed to conceive to carry in school. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel on that topic yet. I haven't thought about it enough.
When have you heard that a teacher did a school shooting?
Never. But at the same time, it's like, when have you heard that a teacher is allowed to bring a gun to school, you know?
Yeah, I think if that were to happen, then there will be more reports of, like, teachers doing it as well. There's, like, a lot, there's probably some teachers at our school that hate, like, this one student so much to the point where they probably wouldn't like hurt them.
That
you know?
exists. Yeah.
There definitely are teachers out there like that, so, you know.
People in general, you know,
Well,
it could be a teacher.
Then you gotta
it could be a
find
student, it could be
better
anyone.
teachers. You gotta, like, background check them, make sure they're mentally sane. Like,
I mean,
having
all it takes is one bad day to make a sane person go alive, go insane. It does. All it takes is one bad day.
maybe not
That
the
sounds
big
like,
one.
isn't that like a quote from sometime?
Yeah, it is Joker.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That does sound like
It is.
That does sound like a Joker quote.
Yeah, we live in a society.
Yeah, in all seriousness though, it's just that, like, if you're watching this or listening to this, just stay safe, notice the signs, speak up if you see something, or
If you feel away,
yes.
yeah.
If you, like,
If
see
you're
something.
feeling sad,
Yeah.
please do something about it. Don't
Yeah.
just be sad and be upset and try to blame someone else
Mhm.
for what's happening. It's not your fault. Go to an adult in your life. Go to someone who you know will do something for you, not someone that doesn't care. Like, say you know a guidance counselor. There are examples where kids get bullied, they go every day, and nothing even happens.
Yeah.
If you, but
It depends on the guidance counselor. You have to.
Yeah.
Depends on the.
Find someone you can
you find
trust.
someone,
Find someone who's- yeah.
like, if you see something, say something, you know?
Famous line.
Alright. So, let's see.
So we move on to the next topic. I'm just gonna double check. Do a daily
That
check.
magazine is tempting me so much. You see that magazine?
Yeah.
That's just tempting me to get into that topic, but I will not.
Yeah, no,
Not for that. It's too much.
We're doing pretty good so far.
We'll be talking
Still
about
around.
Cool.
So we're gonna move on to the actual one.
Actual incident?
No, I didn't even start. I'll talk about it, but my goodness.
Yeah, that's just,
What an idiot.
that's insane.
What happened?
Astro
So,
World?
if
Did
you, yeah,
I know like a little bit about it. So.
same. Like, if you
wanna take
were,
this in?
I'll kind of start off. So, if you were here last week, if you watched till the end, which I hope you did.
It's only 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's only 30 minutes, you better watch it.
Like, my cousin was complaining that, it's like, I'm not watching this, it's 30 minutes long. I'm like, bro, most podcasts are
What
an
are you,
hour
3
long.
exactly, like, what are you?
Most podcasts are like an hour long, dude.
35 minutes is too long, like, what are you, 3, like, what?
This guy has the attention span of a fish. So, I don't know.
So,
You should see me. I was peeling the tape off the table.
You should miss that? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so anyway, if you were here last week, and if you watched the whole thing, you heard us at the end, we were gonna talk about the Astro incident, how, I think it was like it was at a Travis Scott concert, long story short, people ended up getting trampled to death, people got really, really hurt,
Do you
some
know the
people
exact
died.
numbers?
I do not,
Alright, you can go.
I will check that right
I
now.
did hear about this on the news. I think it was 14. 7 or 14. I don't remember exactly. I think there was a bunch of people injured. Picture this: if you're gonna die one day, you know, I think the worst place for it to be would be at a Travis Scott concert, because those people are literally they suffocated. They could not breathe.
Yeah.
They passed out, and then people were walking over them like it was like the scene of The Lion King. With like a stampede of people just
And
stepping
then you
on
had Simba screaming, but nobody could hear. That's exactly what one woman said.
Yeah,
She
it
was screaming from one side, and nobody could hear her, and nobody could do anything about
Yeah,
it.
people were chanting, like, stop the concert,
I
and
heard.
he just kept dancing, he just kept performing.
But yeah, but then I think I remember him. He noticed someone who passed out, and that's when he stopped. That's when he noticed that.
Yeah.
I heard they put 1,000 people could enter the concert, but they fit 4,000. And I was like, well, that's your reason. You know, you don't put 4,000 people in 1,000 people.
I think that was organized very badly. I saw like a video of how like he explained how like most festivals are supposed to be organized with like the amount of people, and for some reason this one was not organized properly.
Yeah. Okay, so
And like the people just got very squished together and cramped.
So Wikipedia says, on November 5th, 2021, a crowd crush occurred during the first night of the Astro World Festival, a music event founded by American rapper Travis Scott. The event was held at NRG Park in Houston, Texas. 10 people died, eight on the night of the concert, and 2 more in the hospital over the following days. And yeah, so basically people were trampled to death.
10.
Yeah, 10 people.
10 people.
It says.
It's Wikipedia, right?
I'm on a news server. Yeah, so 10 people died. I don't know how many were injured, but I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure a
many of them
lot. I
were.
think I've never seen on the news.
Recently, like, on the 14th of November, it was reported that the Astro World incident's 10th victim was a 9-year-old boy who died in a coma.
Like, you should. Why are you there? You're 9 years
Exactly.
Why
old.
are you there?
Like,
You're 9 years old.
yeah, like,
the real question is, who is the parent?
Yeah,
Exactly. Who is the
that would
parent?
send their kid at 9 years old or bring their kid to a Travis Scott concert? First of all, they shouldn't even be into that.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense to let a 9-year-old listen to. Maybe one song. Like, maybe I could see you let your kid listen to like.
Don't judge his
his
music
older
taste.
songs.
Yeah,
Don't judge his
but what-
music
I'm
taste.
not
Well,
judging.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine.
what I wanna know is like,
Well, you
because I'm
shouldn't
assuming
be
it
at
was
that
like,
concert.
because I think it was like in just a really big like mosh pit where this happened. Why'd you have your kid that close? Like, usually, why would you have your kid like, you know, in that whole like, you know, big like mosh pit where like people were, yeah, you know, like, why would you have your kid like
Yeah,
at the concert.
I know what you mean.
You should probably have them, like, you should probably, like, if you know it's like an outdoor concert, like a festival type thing, you should probably have, like, maybe have, like, your kid who's that young, 9 years old, like, far away from the stage, make sure he's not close to that many people that are, like, you know, like, sketchy people and stuff like that.
He's so small too. Did you see that height?
Maybe the tickets weren't affordable, you know, and I don't wanna make that argument.
You should take your kid to the front of the concert, everyone's jumping around.
I'm just saying, like,
Isn't the front like more?
I
feel like in front
more
was more
expensive.
expensive.
Front's more
Yeah.
expensive, more dangerous. I
So like, can't you go anywhere? Like, you just like move. Man.
Yeah, if it's
I
an
can see
outdoor
you
concert.
like putting your kid on your shoulders, 9 years old, you
Yeah.
know, but like at the same time, that's just not a good idea. I would not take my kid to a concert until they're like 14, 13,
Right.
around that age.
Yeah, like where they can like basically handle themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first like concert I think I've been to was I went to see the rapper Logic with my cousin in concert. That was really cool. We were pretty far from the stage, but like we weren't like super close, but we had a good time. Nothing bad happened, but like I just I still like made sure that like if something were to happen we would get out of there.
Yeah.
Come up with a backup plan. I like that.
Yeah.
It's that fight or flight instinct considering so many
Dangerous.
people. I can't get over the 9-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I can't get over that. I want to know who. Watch it be his older brother or something.
Yeah.
Watch
Yeah,
me as older brother.
that could make sense. Yeah.
It would make sense if it was like an older sibling.
Yeah.
Because now people are so young these days that have kids, and it's fine, you know, but they act like kids themselves. Some of them.
Mhm.
They don't realize that. I'm not trying to generalize anyone, but like I feel like people don't realize that like you gotta make smarter decisions just in general. So make better choices.
Yeah.
Everyone. That's the lesson.
Yep. Like people, he shouldn't have been at that. Like I don't think he really should have even been at that concert anyway. But like at the same time, it's like if he wants to see his favorite artist, make sure he's safe. You know, if like I'm assuming
It's kind of hard to be safe.
because I saw a picture of the kid. He had like it was a picture of like I think of him at the concert before that happened. He was all decked out like in his Travis Scott merch. He had like a cool hat and whatnot. He seemed like he was like a really big fan. So like if you want to take your kid to see his favorite artist, he's a huge fan. Make sure he's safe first and foremost.
Safety first.
Because safety first.
Hold his hand tightly or something. It doesn't. I don't
You
care if
don't
the
need
kid
to
is
watch,
really.
you know,
Yeah.
keep an eye on your kid. You know,
Yeah.
don't just let your kid get trampled.
Exactly.
And at the same time, it's like, like there could have been lots of people, and it must have been a different situation. Obviously, you know, I don't think anyone expects taking a kid to a concert and your kid comes out trampled.
Yeah.
You know, but please, you know, especially if you have little kids, don't take them to a concert. The only concert they should be going to is Sesame Street. Come on.
Hey, yo, got the gab a lot, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
So like, who do you think is like at most fault here? Like, who's at fault here?
That's the question. But I
Yeah.
want to know
Whoever
the cause.
organized the event
yeah.
is at most fault.
Yeah.
Simple
Yeah.
as that.
But I don't, what is the cause of these deaths and the injuries? Because
I think it was like a mosh pit or something.
Like
just the amount of people, the lack of oxygen.
Yeah,
Probably,
man,
yeah.
if you like, I'm not saying you've ever been trampled, but like, have you ever been trampled?
Oh, I don't know.
Picture like how in Lion King, the dad fell,
Yeah.
and then all of those, like that's what it was. There's so many people crammed together, and if one person puts their body weight on top of your chest, it hurts a lot, you know. And then another person steps on, and then another person steps here, and then another person, and then you're just getting walked on, and you can't do anything. You're like literally just mush on the ground, getting walked on.
Yeah. So how at fault do you think Travis Scott is for this entire
I really
fiasco?
don't know if it's his
I'm not
fault
sure.
or not.
Like,
Because he was just a performer. It's like an actor. It's like blaming the actor when you really should be blaming the producer.
But should he have like stopped the performance?
Exactly. Like did
Oh, like,
he
well,
know?
like
I think he
you heard the
tried.
chants. You did try.
He did. I mean, I feel like he was too into his music, and all the audiences. I feel like the audience like chanted to stop the concert, and not just like a group of people. Then it would have gotten his attention.
Yeah, like-
Because
No.
Because I'm not
I'm
sure like
pretty sure
what
the
happened.
audience did chant them. Like it was like loud and clear. Like a
Right.
lot. Like the crowd was like not like jumping in excitement or joy. Right? They were like still like, yo, we gotta stop this concert. This concert needs to stop.
True.
It pissed me off because there
He
was
should have noticed.
he should have. But he could have been in his own. Could have been in his own world. Like maybe he got so hyped in his music. You know how we are when we get so hyped in something that we completely just forget about our
Yeah.
surroundings.
that
Yeah.
like alright, so if y'all know, I'm and my school was like marching band, so sometimes we'd be playing at football games, like, sometimes, like, this sometimes happens to me, like, where a player gets injured and we're like playing a song and I'm like kind of jamming out, but then people keep like kind of like saying like, "Xavier, stop playing." Like, you sound like an injured player. I'm like, "Oh crap!" Like, I make sure like we make sure the player's first before we like start playing again. So, like Travis, like, I'm not sure if a lot of people were chanting, "Hey, stop the concert, stop playing, like stop singing, stop the
Sounds
concert."
like TikTok videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Cut the music. What are you doing?
Yeah, like, if he didn't hear them and he was too much in the zone, I could kind of see where he's coming from, but like at the same time, it's like he needs to be like more like aware of like the crowd, like who he's performing to, you know, because, and also like yeah, I also heard that people were like also like they were like paramedics, like in ambulance trucks, people were like kind of climbing on them and like jumping on them and stuff like that too. People that were trying like
Get away.
No, like the paramedics were trying to like get to the people that were injured, like the people that were injured. People were like jumping. People were like climbing. People were like climbing onto the truck and stuff too.
That's like
That's terrible.
There's people. Because I went, this is random. I don't know why I'm reading something, but just because it reminded me of it so much. Germany lost France won the Women's World Cup, or no, it was the Men's World Cup. I was in France at the time. I went to like a random town in France, and we had a German car, and they have like this rivalry, kind of like the Cowboys and like the Eagles, and so they hate each other basically. And the teams basically like they saw us with the German car because we landed in Germany, we drove there, whatever. They see us, we stick the French flags out because we're French, you know, and we root for the French team. And then immediately they all start jumping in the car because they see the German tags, and they all get on top of the car. We're driving down the street very slowly. They're all climbing on top, and that's just how I imagine a crowd would act. You know, I don't think they did it all. I think maybe some people are tipsy or drunk or something, or intoxicated, and so they're thinking ambulance. This must be part of the concert, but really they don't realize until afterwards.
All that just gives me more reason like why is the children at this concert?
Yeah.
It does.
Great example.
Yeah, especially like that too. Like,
I feel like when you're a child, all you care about is fun. You care about joy. You don't think about logic. You think about what you want to think. And if it's fun, it grabs your attention. So I feel like what this child thought was, oh, flashing lights, fun concert, my favorite rapper. In reality, it was not only flashing lights, fun concert, my favorite rapper, right? But it was also the people around me.
Danger.
There's danger.
Yeah.
Alcohol, drugs,
All that stuff.
pedophiles, anyone. He takes
Still, like, the parents should have known all that in this concert. And
Right.
Said,
Yeah, that's
tell
why-
them no, you're not going to this concert.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that's why if your kid's that young trying to go to like, I'm not trying, like, again, I don't want to blame just the artist, just Travis, but like the thing is, parents should probably check out the artist's music first to make sure, like, you know, because it's not like the artist is gonna do something bad at his own concert, but like the people in the crowd, like, who are into like certain like genres of music, they might, you know, they want to like turn up, they want to like, you know, do all this other stuff. So it could like the type of music that the rapper's playing or performing could kind of like, you know, bring in certain like types of people to these concerts, you know. And again, I'm not blaming Travis because, you know, it's his music, he can express himself however he wants, but it's like, you know, there are people that could interpret his music the wrong way, and they could go to this concert and do like bad things and stuff like that. So that's why they should just check out the artist's music first to like, you know, to see like, oh yeah, there could be people like this at these concerts.
Right.
I agree.
Have you guys seen his apology video?
I haven't heard it, but
You guys gotta see it.
I just know he was like,
I saw the memes.
Yeah, I saw the
There were
memes, too.
so many memes of it.
I
It's
saw
like
the
black
memes,
and
too.
white filter, him like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that
it
was.
did not,
Yeah,
like,
and people using that for everything. I'm
Yeah, I
like,
saw
oh.
it too. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to watch like the full
he,
video.
like, people say that he didn't look sorry, and I get that. And he's doing like weird hand movements on his
Yeah.
head, saying in a very monotone voice, like, we're trying to find like the family members to identify the people that died at the concert. And the thing that was like really alarming to me is that it was missing the word sorry. And
Yes.
It did not
There's no sorry.
have that simple that simple, like, most basic requirement of an apology.
Yeah.
Was that sorry?
No.
Yeah. If I ever,
He doesn't see it was his fault. He doesn't see it was his fault entirely. So
when you apologize to the internet like that, example would be like Logan Paul, like when he did that thing in the forest.
I don't think that was a bad apology.
A lot of people say
it wasn't an apology. It was still an apology but like it was just the background.
Yeah.
It was just like the thing that he did. It's just unapologizable. It's just not apologizable for that thing.
If you ever become famous and have to apologize to a group of people on the internet, the best thing to do would be to take a moment, really think about your apology, and if you're, don't cry on camera and don't, like, obviously you need the views whenever you're a YouTuber. At the same time, I would take it very
Why would
seriously.
you advertise the apology?
Yeah.
You should not like.
That's
you should
such
not
a-
advertise
That's
it.
crying on the apology.
Yeah,
I
because
don't think people monetize that.
Yeah.
some people do.
Yeah,
I
those
think
people
I'm not
monetize
trying to
it.
say, like, I think David Dobrik did one like that, where it was like it might have been a breakup video or something like that. It was like his most viewed video, and it was only a few
J
minutes.
Station.
Oh, that guy.
J Station.
Oof, I don't even know who that is, but it just sounds.
You know.
I have not heard anything about it.
He's gone now, but he had,
Thank God, good
he had a
riddance.
history.
Good riddance.
Get rid of it.
I just, if you apologize to a big group of people, you really have to be short-worded and you have to take responsibility, I feel like. Because if you don't, people are just gonna be like, why do you even apologize in the first place? For publicity, that's what it looks like. If you're seriously gonna apologize, you should own up to it. Maybe, I'm not saying don't cry, but don't fake cry, for sure. Don't just go out of your way to make it sad and not make it a serious apology. Take it very seriously, and it'll work out for you. Your fans will appreciate you more. Because if you genuinely go at the camera and look at them like this and go, I'm really sorry, it was my fault, I completely take responsibility, blah, 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 and you just apologize, I feel like people will be able to relate to you more than if you're just crying your eyes out and it's entertaining for them to watch.
Yeah, because most apologies, right? A lot of apologies, right? Instead of just straight up owning up to it and taking responsibility, they try to make excuses for themselves.
Yeah.
Try to like explain what their mind.
Explaining the
what they're going
situation's fine, but if you don't own up to what you did, what's the point in apologizing?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because like at that point you're not apologizing for anything. Because own up, apologize for what you did, know what you did, and then you gotta move on.
Yeah.
And obviously, I know that Logan Paul, after his apology, I think months after, I'm pretty sure he did something for the suicidal prevention, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good way, but at the same time, you shouldn't just go, oh, I'm making money from my job, let me just, put it here, and that'll solve the problem. Like
I think he did make a video, like shouting it out, advertising, like showing.
Yeah, I wasn't calling out Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Remember he made those glasses for people who are colorblind?
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool for me. Like, also Logan Paul also has a podcast as well, I think. I haven't listened to it.
I watch it.
I don't listen to it.
They do such a good job. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
It's well made. It's well made.
Alright.
really
I'm
well
I
gonna
stole the thumbnail. The first video.
Yeah, like,
I thought it was.
so speaking of like apology videos and stuff, like in my honest opinion, it might be a little hard to like record yourself apologizing to a camera, because it's like to issue an apology through like a camera, it's like to show that you're really sorry about it. But like at the same time, there are times when you could just tell the person that's issuing said apology doesn't really care. They're just doing it because they feel like that they have to, just to get like their clout back, just so that people like them again, They're not doing it because they genuinely feel remorseful or because they did something wrong. They're doing it because, again, they just want their views back. They just want their fans back.
They're getting backlash, they're getting hate. They gotta somehow stop all this from coming out of them.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes they cry and do that just to stop the hate coming at them, because then in a way it's kind of like, instead of looking like the bad guy, they look like the victim. They play the victim card.
Yeah.
And they feel like they're the one getting attacked. Just because you lose 10,000 subscribers, does not mean anything. That's the problem, because with social media like that, if it's your job, it's your only source of income. You have to do certain things. I feel like at the same time, like, you have to cry a little bit, or else someone's gonna watch your video. Maybe I just randomly popped in my head. So like obviously it's your job first, then it's your thing, or it's your thing first, and then it's your job, your hobby. So you really have to, like, you can tell which one they are. Like if the first 5 5 seconds of the video, they scream in your face, subscribe, like,
Oh yeah,
smash, like.
Yeah, we're doing that next.
Just guys, like gets closer to the camera.
Yeah. Alright, so on the topic of like apology videos, right? And like these popular people, these famous people making these apology videos for like things that they've done. It kind of brings to the question. It kind of brings up the question, like, does fame change you as a person?
It does. Definitely. It does.
Money
Does it
does
change
too,
you?
both of
Yeah.
them.
Like there are like sometimes
Brothers,
people
money and fame.
people sometimes change for the better, but a lot of celebrities, like especially like back in the day, like musicians especially, like that fame changes them. They feel like the crutches of the music industry, of like pleasing their fans, they get hooked on drugs and just destroy their lives, you know?
Yeah, Michael, I don't say Michael Jackson. It's a good example.
Mhm.
He first of all, he already had a messed up childhood. His father, I think, abused him or whatever.
Mhm.
Then he was a good singer, so his dad like abused him to be like a really talented kid. Then he became famous. First of all, he wasn't raised normally, so he still acted like a child as an adult. And now he's got all this fame, all these eyes on him. That's the thing. Like I feel like we weren't made to be able to handle billions of people seeing us all the time. You know,
Yeah,
if
the
everyone,
most extroverted person in Homo. Oh my god.
So yeah, if you are nervous in a concert, like let's say, or if you're performing in like for a small audience, but yeah, you were the person who would say, I want to become this, I want to have everyone, all eyes on me.
Yeah.
If you're not ready for that, you're just not, because if you cannot take that small audience, what makes you think you're going to take the entire population?
No,
no one can handle the world. No matter how much you say you can handle it, no one can. And
Yeah.
I think I can handle the world, but I know I can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Having like billions of people know your name is just wow.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
You can't live a normal lifestyle.
Because then you mess up, you say one thing, and all of a sudden, they all go, swap. And they all go, I hate you.
Yep.
And you have 50 billion people hating you.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously you don't have that number, but I feel like we're not, we can only register 100 faces, I think. I don't know if that's
Yeah, we
true.
can.
Yeah.
Only
So,
up to 100
100%.
faces you can remember in memory. So
Yeah.
imagine that. Like, you're not meant to talk to so many people. It's just a lot.
And I know of like many extroverted people. I don't think they can talk to that many people either.
Yeah. Like back to like the Astro incident, like Travis, he's like being sued for like $2 billion, I think.
Really?
Yeah, like $2 billion.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So yeah, he's gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in the world of
He's
content
10 people,
creating.
it's like 100 million person, if you I might be wrong.
Yeah, like Travis Scott is gonna have to.
200 million.
Yeah, Travis is gonna have to play Squid Game or something in order to come up with that type of dough, you know. He's a rich guy, you know. But
How
like,
rich is he actually?
his net worth, I'm not sure.
I'd have to go back to Kylie Jenner and ask for some money.
Yeah, he's gonna have to play Squid Game or something. You know.
You're gonna see him knocking on the door. I need my alimony check.
His net worth is 16 million.
16 million.
No, 60 million.
60 million.
Oh, 60 million.
Yeah,
Oh,
60
wow.
million.
16. I was like,
Yeah.
I like net worth. That's just like your accurate, like
Yeah.
my calculation won't be as accurate as his bank account. I feel like he's definitely, depending on how much he spends and how much he saves, could be completely different, you know.
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
It could be, he could have like $1 billion in the bank.
He could have just won the lottery.
We could have invested it, done something with it, you never know.
That's true.
Depends on how smart he is.
He's gonna have to play Squid Game to get that money.
God.
That was good.
That was good. That was good.
That was
good.
great.
Back on the topic of like fame, especially in the world of content creating, as you grow more fame, you kind of like think you can get away with more things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can.
And that's why like Logan Paul, he thought he could get away with filming dead body and just like advertise it as like, oh, suicide prevention.
You know,
Yeah,
I think
you
you're
know
trying to
that
get, like that guy, you know, I think not to justify or anything, but I think he went through like a phase of his life where he was younger, 1, 2, and he was filming everything he did. If he made meatballs that night, he would film it and get it in the vlog, you know?
Mhm.
The fact that that vlog got uploaded was a mistake. Until like, I don't think anyone realized it. No one really thought, you know, because they didn't blur out the body. I remember that. My friend
They did.
I didn't even watch
They
it. my friend watched it and told me that they didn't blur out the body, they just showed it.
I saw it.
So,
Oh yeah, I remember.
I don't
It
think,
was a long time ago.
when it first came out, they didn't, I'm sure there's a re-upload somewhere, but I think it was only up for like 6 hours.
That's great.
Went down.
Like
Yeah.
YouTube actually put it on trending. Like I remember that specific detail, and like Logan Paul had to go in and like take it down because
Yeah.
YouTube was like advertising it for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
What I want to know was like, cause he tried to like kind of defend it, like himself, like kind of laughing at the fact that he saw like a dead body by saying, oh yeah, well sometimes
He's trying to make content.
Yeah, sometimes no, he like for him like laughing about it, like he said like sometimes when he sees something that he can't comprehend or process, he like laughs. That's like again, that's definitely a normal human reaction to certain things. When they see something that they can't really process, they kind of like laugh. But like the thing is like, why didn't you edit it out the video?
Yeah.
Like you could have done so many things. You could have edited out the video.
What should have happened, right? Like none of that. Nobody should have been shown in that video, right?
Exactly.
It's like, okay, record them going to the suicide forest, right? They were doing it like a very like comedic way,
It's such a
which is
weird
not.
thing though.
which is
Like
not
I've never
true.
heard
You
of
shouldn't
that,
do
a
that.
suicide
Not-
forest.
yeah, not
Japan.
Suicide forest.
In Japan.
I
It
only
wasn't
hear
Japan.
that in like fictional books or something.
Yeah,
Suicide
that
forest.
literally sounds like something in like a
Like
book.
suicide
Yeah,
or like
Japan
an urban
are
legend?
fairly high.
It sounds like something out of like a horror movie, like a suicide
I
forest.
mean, maybe if you were like the Yakuza money or something like that.
No, but like, they were probably depressed from social anxiety.
Yeah, cause I do hear that Japan is like
Schooling, is that what it might be?
Schooling.
like
Could be
yeah,
reason.
like how like
Extreme.
things were like Japan, like how it is, how they like kind of how people are treated and stuff like that, and Japan is like pretty bad, and how like the suicide rate's really high because of like how like a lot of people in Japan are like overworked and stuff like that.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm not,
they-
yeah.
like they're in a way like they're like really nice. Like they're made to have this kind of like behavior of like being always polite to everyone, always on
Sure,
time.
it gets
Ever
to
since
them.
birth.
Because I feel like in America you've all this freedom that guess what, you can fail at your first job and you can get another one that you can recover and come back and get own a business and still make money and still
Yeah.
somewhat accomplish the American
It'll
dream.
be hard, it'll be
Right,
hard.
right.
Definitely.
True.
But there, I feel like maybe in Japan, maybe it's different. Maybe, if you don't do well in school, your parents hate you. Maybe they could be more strict. This is like based off of stereotypes and what I know. And I feel like, because now, in certain countries, in Asian countries, they're banning, like, I noticed Clash Royale, because recently all the sweats have been offline. And, like, in China, they banned, you can only play 1 hour a day, I think, or something like
Yeah, I
that.
remember
And I was
Like
like,
the video game ban in China.
yeah,
Jeez.
and I'm thinking in Asian countries, maybe they're just banning, like, they're banning things that are fun, because they want them to focus on studying, which I understand, but it's a lot, that's a whole different topic, and we'll
Yeah.
get into that one
Yeah,
day.
I'll bring that down on the
Yeah.
list.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah, speaking of like gaming and stuff like that, sometimes like when I have free time in class to like go on my phone, I've been on that Rocket League sideswipe grind set, that game's addicting. I didn't think I'd be like Rocket League sideswipe, like it's really addicting,
Yeah. I try that.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's
discipline,
fun. I can't.
discipline in
I'm pretty
especially
frustrated.
Asian countries are very serious.
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
It's
I've
like,
seen a
you
video.
better be studying when you get home, bro.
I wonder what the
your
goal
books.
is. Like what the primary goal is, like after you finish all that
Raise
studying.
the family praise, maybe, just get that reputation up there.
Most
I-
likely, yeah.
I know what I'm talking about when it comes to
Just making your parents proud or something. Making your family proud.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Compared to us
they enforce
Americans.
a lot of like discipline. You're like, you better go home, study,
Right.
heads in those books.
Exactly.
You know?
yeah.
And like they go out of their way now to like study on their own terms a lot because that's just all they know a lot of the times.
Yeah.
They obviously still know how to socialize, have fun.
Well, of
sometimes,
course.
but
Yeah.
like their main goal, like all their goals is just studying, get that degree. I know in China there's like this exam, this really big exam.
I remember. Yeah.
If you don't do well, you're not gonna get it.
You're not gonna.
Yeah. And
It's
then
so stressful.
I saw a video of that exam. They brought like, dogs in the schools to help like the children, to help the kids kind of get through the day because it was so stressful.
Yeah, it's kind of like they could like I guess pet them to like chill out a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
relax.
let them like
Yeah.
chill and relax for
I
a little
can't
bit.
imagine being under that stress,
Yeah,
because
that's insane. Yeah.
where we live, the United States, we get freedom of like classes and choices. There, it is whatever you can hit, whatever is like your maximum, that's what you should be doing, and maybe even plus. You know, they push you so far with education.
I feel like, because I remember, because I take sociology, right? So we did like, we saw a video, it's like an experiment between the British schools and the Chinese schools. And they had Chinese teachers go into the British schools and teach their style of teaching. The main difference, because Britain and America were pretty indistinguishable for the same thing.
Yeah.
So the British students were struggling, they thought it was impossible. And it was because compared to Chinese students, we have an education system that focuses on the individual. In China, they focus on the entire group. And if you have like a 504 or something, in China it's just be like, well, I don't know what to do, like I need to teach everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get left in the dust.
But if it were America, if this person had like a 504, they'd be like, oh, okay, I got you. What do you need help on?
Yeah.
It's nothing but.
Yeah, like,
Definitely interesting.
yeah, because I kind of knew that China's education system was pretty, like, messed up when when I, in, like, middle school, we had to, for, like, it was, like, world language day or something like that, so we had to learn, like, Chinese multiplication, and it was terrible. That's when I knew that the China education system, that the Chinese education, like, system was pretty weird, you know, or pretty, like, crazy.
Asian countries in general, the education is very different from us, you know?
They are so smart if you
Because
really think
in
about
their
it.
societies,
Their
education just taken way more seriously.
Yeah.
It is
Like here in America, right?
Yeah.
I don't even.
There's way more options after high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, you don't even have to, like, just start, you don't even have to, like,
Japan, all those
yeah,
places.
like, a lot of people, like, you don't have to, I'm gonna go to college,
Well,
you know,
yeah,
but, like, there's some careers and some, like, you know, like, work fields you could go into where, as you don't need a degree for, you know? You don't necessarily need college to be successful for, like, for certain things that you do. For certain things that you wanna do, you know, you don't really need a degree to be successful at it. But there are, like, still, like, a lot of stuff that you would need a degree for, though.
Yeah, I understand. I was just thinking right now. Oh my god, did I lose my thought? No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. Oh my god.
Oh, sorry.
Oh man,
I really wish I
had
could
it.
have said
Just say
it.
it.
It was there, and then it went.
Whatever's on
Yeah, when
whatever's on
that
your mind,
happens.
just say it. It's podcast, bro.
Alright. I don't want to be like, I got it. Xavier's like telling us, it's like, oh yeah, guys, this is super serious. I was like, Fortnite, no update.
No, I told you
They just
before,
have to look at you and be like, I'm out.
He's like, yeah.
Shut up, we're in the library here.
Alright, come on.
I see this on my laptop screen. It's like bars going out. It's like going out of my screen right now.
When Darius talks alone, the one bar. And then you see it like this. Then Darius.
So, I think whenever I talk, it goes pretty loud. You see that?
How is it when I talk, though? Like I'm talking right now?
It's like
Quiet.
It dwarfs mine.
It is quiet. Me too, friend. See how it went?
Hello.
Why are we testing it? We're recording.
We're recording.
I have to constantly check. Alright, we're good. Before you even
It's so funny because people who are watching this, they're gonna see like they're gonna hear background noise right behind us. They don't. I really want to grab a magazine because it's so convenient. Because now the magazine's there. If we can come up with a topic,
I mean,
inspiration right there.
the only stuff back there is like, Patty LaBelle's Thanksgiving.
What are we doing right now?
We're chilling.
Like, it's a fun, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing a book I talked about serial killers, like in the mind of a serial killer. Remember, we passed it actually.
Yeah.
I read Mein Kampf by Hitler. We took a peek at it in social studies and
No
stuff
way.
like that. I looked at it, I was reading it, me and Steven were there, and I was like, he was in German, it was in English German, but I was like, he was a very detailed person.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
very
there
smart.
he is. Like, I remember seeing the How to Become a Tyrant. They said, we would say right now that we will not fall into Hitler's lies, but the guy said if you were in that moment, I promise you he would.
Yeah,
He was very convincing.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a tough life and you need someone to blame, it's very easy to point the blame at someone else, you know?
Yeah.
And if someone gives you a reason to, like, you know?
Yeah, you can easily be influenced when you're like down bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You need someone to follow. You need someone to point the blame to.
look into the future of this podcast. Do you guys want to do like kind of a like an episode on like a true crime episode or like an episode about history and stuff?
Whatever.
Oh yeah, so
Leave a comment. What you want to say? We're down to talk
Yeah,
about
hey,
whatever.
whatever.
Episode 5,
That'd be
we're
awesome.
we're going to go something
Yo,
special.
we should make a
live
vlog.
though.
We go from a podcast to a vlog, then back to a podcast.
It's like a special edition.
So
Pick up
it's
the
special
tripod.
edition.
We're golfing.
Imagine if it's like live though, like we just go live ghost hunting.
Yeah.
The bare minimum podcast goes ghost
I
hunting.
went to an insane
BuzzFeed.
asylum.
that is somehow that would happen.
It was like, those are savings, that minimum. Here we go.
Recently for Halloween, I went to an insane asylum, and let me tell you, like, I want to go to an actual abandoned one. They called it an abandoned, but it was run by people, and they were just making money out of it. It was very fun, but like, me and my friends are like, we want to go to an abandoned, like, anything abandoned and it's dark. I don't understand why there's just a building. Like, you see this abandoned house in my neighborhood. It made no sense that like no one would tear it down or like build new property on it. It was just an abandoned building, dark all the time, and like I would love to go and play Ouija board in there. Now you're like,
No.
I'm not afraid of that. Like, I don't believe in that
Bro.
stuff. Sorry.
No,
Yeah, but then
we don't
prove-
fool,
I'll have to
don't
bring-
fool with spirits, bro.
I'll have
Don't
to
fool with
I'll have
spirits.
to
It's
bring
not ghosts.
I'll have to bring a crucifix, bro.
Not to be like stereotypical,
Oh,
but in the movie, we all know the movie stereotype.
we don't know. Yeah.
What, the black people die first?
We always
Yeah,
die first.
yeah,
we always die
exactly.
first.
It's not even
Crap.
like, I saw
No.
Bird Box. I was
Alright.
like, this dude
Yes.
died. I was like, why did he die? The
Alright,
one, the one dude.
If
Black.
alright, if those horror movie tropes were real, out of all 4 of us, it'll probably be me to die first since I'm the darkest. Then
Really? You really said it.
Yeah, I'll die first since I'm the darkest. Then it'll be Darius. Then Steven. Then,
color shade.
then I guess Dan will somehow be like the evil spirit while we're all just dead. You know?
He's just the nice one. He's like, where am I?
Dude, I would love to see like a horror movie written by someone a little bit more diverse.
Yeah.
Diverse.
I mean, there are like with Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. Oh, Jordan
Jordan
Peele's
Peele.
a good
Oh, he's nuts. Yeah, Jordan Peele. Like,
Get Out.
Us.
Yes,
you know.
Get Out is really good.
He's like, oh yeah, the new
I haven't seen
Us.
it. I
the
watched
new-
all
the
the
new-
trailer. I was like,
yeah, the new Candyman, especially, like, that was pretty good too. I think that was Jordan Peele, right? Yeah. It
I
was.
have no idea, actually. I don't know.
that movie I liked.
I think it was.
I liked the characters more than I liked what actually happened. It was a little confusing.
We're coming up to the hour mark, by the way.
Actually.
Yo, we only got like 10
5
minutes max.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, it's
Let's end on a
rock.
fun-
Fun topic.
Yeah, it
Let's-
was Jordan.
no
It
more
was Jordan
horror.
Peele. I made the
No
Candyman.
more, no
That's
more.
right.
Yeah, it was Jordan Peele. So fun. So discussion topic.
We're gonna be closing it in like less than 15 minutes.
Okay,
You know,
perfect.
we
Yeah,
have
we're just
time.
wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay, so
It always
Random.
works out.
random discussion. I was seeing this topic floating around like on Twitter, like Instagram, stuff like that. 500K or dinner with Jay-Z. Dan?
Listen, I'm not a big fan of Jay-Z, but I'm going for dinner because, like, yeah, 500K is awesome, but I'm assuming there's gonna be tax on it, which would mean like, we don't know how much percentage of tax.
No, you just get like
500, sure, 500K.
You
Alright,
literally
but-
just get 500K right on the table.
I'm a food guy. I'd rather make my own money. Although, like, it would be a lot of fun to have 500K and blow it out all one weekend. I'd rather just have dinner with Jay-Z. It's pretty bad. Like, meeting Jay-Z, like, okay, you're looking at me like, dang.
He's
We
like-
know you don't want to eat with Jay-Z. But, like, that would actually be kind of sick. Like, imagine the food. Okay.
Becomes
Give me that, like,
becomes
No,
best
come on,
friend.
Jay-Z's gonna bring you to like the finest restaurant, okay?
the finest.
The finest when you take all the pictures.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's on Instagram.
Well,
Start
is he gonna
watching.
be like? Is he gonna be like this the whole time and be like annoying, or is he gonna be like, "Hi, nice to meet you"? Is he gonna be like really chill, or is he gonna be like super like
He's gonna pretend-
aggressive and be like, "Don't take a bite out of that sandwich, Dan"?
Oh my!
No,
I forgot.
it's
Sorry
all-
about that.
It's gonna be you pick the place.
I don't know much
like,
about Jay-Z.
all, no,
No, I don't know
like,
much about it.
I just like dinner. You know?
Yeah, like if dinner with Jay-Z, you get to pick the place, you order whatever you want, it'll be on him, since, you know, he's Jay-Z, he'll pay for it, you know, on him. You guys could talk about whatever, and he'll give you, like, his thoughts on, like, whatever, just a dinner with Jay-Z, and
That'd be
all
fun
that.
though. Like, obviously 500K is definitely the better choice,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna go with Jay-Z just to be interesting, because like that's just the more fun
We
choice.
don't know. We don't know what this guy is. Like you said, like he
Well,
could literally
he's-
just be.
he's famous.
He's bipolar.
Yeah.
Like you said, he could just be like at
Yeah.
any moment.
Yeah, but let's just
But I
assume
doubt
because
that.
we're I'm sure he'd be nice because you did sacrifice $500K to meet him and have dinner. You know?
Well, no, if it was like at a restaurant, then you know it'll be like there will obviously be people who wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't hurt you. You know?
Yeah. Well,
Like, be like,
You ate too many of my fries.
No, he'll be like, oh, you're gonna order the most expensive dessert on the menu and only take 2 bites out of it.
it's odd, yeah.
You didn't eat the lamb sauce.
Finish your dinner.
Flips the table.
Like, you know.
All the food falls over, like the lobster's on the floor. You're like,
Starts breaking out in sadness.
So, alright, you're choosing dinner with Jay-Z. I guess.
why not? Yeah.
Alright, Steven.
That's Darius.
Darius.
500K.
Alright, what are you spending on? Let's get that out of the way.
500K, I don't know, to be honest, I guess.
Let's make it a little more interesting. You only have a weekend to spend the money.
Yeah,
Now,
One weekend. Alright.
because I feel like dinner with Jay-Z is only going to be like a couple hours.
It is.
Unless it's like a week, you know. Who knows? Jay-Z's been eating. Well, he's probably eating a lot with all that money. You know, rapper money. Or he's not a rapper. I don't know Jay-Z.
He's a rapper, producer, entrepreneur.
Wait, who?
cool.
Who?
Yeah, he's got a
Showed
lot.
the
He's got a
picture.
lot of money. He's got
Net worth of
net
1.4 billion.
1.4 billion.
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 Alright,
Billion.
yeah. I'll have a Big
Dinner
Mac
with
the size of my
How did I
house.
not notice that?
He said he was like, yeah, go to Wawa, pick me up. You pick me up a bag of Lay's, pick me up a bag of Lay's Classic and get a little something for yourself. Just buys a plane. Just buy a plane.
I would have to, you know what, I would have
Spice.
dinner with Jay-Z. I would be as nice to him as I possibly can and manipulate him to give me money.
Yeah.
Give me money. Because he has
That's
You
right.
see-
1.4 billion. Give me money. Like,
Yeah, it's like he just gives you your credit card. Like, yeah, go get me like a bag of chips and get a little something for yourself. You just buy a helicopter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can maintain that. Not to be realistic. But
I know. I was just joking.
Yeah. So
We
I
were-
probably
we were
would
like
probably
realistic here.
have a dinner with Jay-Z because like
Yeah.
he's obviously very successful, even though I don't really know him that well.
Mm.
So if I can talk to him and like convince him to give me his knowledge and wisdom on how to get all that success and kind of repeat that myself, that's knowledge worth way more than 500K in my opinion.
Oh, that's an interesting.
That's a good point, like how to become successful.
Let me ask you this. Have you seen that video where it was like this little girl kind of interviewing Jay-Z and she said, what's the secret to your success? Then he said, work hard, try your best, and work hard. Like he didn't even know.
I
Like,
remember.
he didn't even know.
I remember.
Like I saw
Forgot about
this
that.
meme, right, where it was like, oh yeah, if someone picks the dinner with Jay-Z, like, and then someone says like, yo, what's the secret to your success? Then Jay-Z's like, sell drugs and rap about it. This food's yummy. Like.
Oh, yeah.
But just
Because
alright.
like the really rich billionaires like actually give genuine advice on how they got to where they did, right? Instead of just like really oversimplifying it, like work hard, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Or
it's
just
still,
looking
it is,
around
it
like
is
a
an
crazy
experience.
person.
Right.
Sorry.
It is
Okay.
so, you're that same person.
Random topic.
Okay.
Random fun
Can I say
topic.
what my?
Yeah.
Alright, so
Let him say
me
it.
personally,
I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know what he was
Alright, so
doing.
me personally, 500K.
But what you spending on that
What I
weekend?
would spend on, but that's a very good
I
question.
mean, now you can get that helicopter. That's real. You can maintain it.
I'm not getting a helicopter. I just
It'll
said
be like
something
that scene in
silly.
Cars.
Is it
Tow
impulse
meter.
buy?
Alright, so me personally,
I don't know why.
500K. That is a lot. What would I spend that on?
It's dash. You know why it's great.
I love it.
Get out.
I would spend it on
Yo,
because
the audio over time has just gotten louder and louder. Like,
We've
the,
got
the
some
beginning,
cover.
the beginning was like
Because-
this.
because I'm an egotistical maniac, I'm going to spend it on a huge statue of myself in the middle of the town
Nowhere.
where we live in.
No,
The town, no, actually,
It's a
like
good one.
Yeah, like huge statue of myself in
Yeah.
the middle of.
What's it made out of? Bronze, gold, stone?
Gold.
I would say diamond. That would be way more than 500K.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, a gold statue.
Glass, fake diamond.
A gold statue man of myself. A gold statue of myself. Let's see. College.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I
That's
was-
all the money you got.
Since
man.
since I also want to spend it I also want to open up my own recording studio one day.
Yeah,
And
nice.
I get invest in that.
Yeah,
you know?
good.
Upgrade
We
this.
didn't think about. Let's get us some room. Let's get us a nice
Let's
sound
get us
bar.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
That only costs like 10K. That's a lot.
Yes,
That's
that
like
is a lot.
what?
Thought he was like, oh,
Yeah,
that sounds like,
you know.
Are we gonna pay for this yet?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Are we gonna pay him?
And also most importantly, I would spend it on a better microphone. Sorry, Dan.
It's all you.
Sorry,
I
Dan.
do like this mic.
Well,
but,
It's a
like,
good mic, but you
It's a
know.
really good
you
mic.
have to do like here, and tell me good for. I don't want to ASMR, but like. No. It's gonna be so low. Look at that. It's monstrous.
Yikes.
Last time I moved my
Headphone-
foot,
headphone
and
warning.
everyone was complaining about it. All my friends were telling me. We heard it. It was like a screech when I got up or something.
Yeah, headphone
When I dropped my phone,
Oh my.
your ears are gonna.
We're still figuring out all of this audio stuff, like, and it's only episode 2, so we gotta brush up on
Yeah,
little
yeah,
technical stuff now.
the Indians mic.
We're running on time here. Any other fishy topics?
Yeah, so
So
since
next week?
Spider-Man's coming
You wanna
up.
talk about next week? I mean,
We'll hold
the
next
podcast.
week back. Well, we can
Oh.
sneak peek.
Sneak peek, we're gonna have our boy Elijah.
Exciting stuff.
Exciting stuff, first special guest to the Bare Minimum Podcast, Elijah. We're having him next week.
Well, I mean, Kevin's a guest. Kevin's not a guest.
Kevin's not good.
Kevin's,
He's part of the podcast.
Kevin's a reoccurring character.
Yeah.
Kevin comes in every once in
The minor
every
character.
episode, he's coming.
He's gonna be a reoccurring character, right?
You're gonna see him every now and then.
Yep.
I guess. Yeah.
Whenever he feels like.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have Elijah next week, so stay tuned. Elijah, we're excited to have you next week, my boy.
Exciting.
I've never been.
You never met Elijah?
Yeah, you
No,
never met him.
Oh
no.
dang.
You'll
So
be
it is.
Yep.
I'm the interviewer.
Alright, Darius?
Since Spider-Man's coming up, I gotta start something. Who do you think is the best Spider-Man? I had to start it. I had to do it.
Let's go with Tom on for now.
Hey guys, just to give you a heads up, we're gonna be closing in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're almost
done.
done.
We're almost done.
I think we should just end it.
My favorite Spider-Man is Tobey Maguire.
Andrew Garfield.
I agree.
Andrew Garfield, alright, cool.
Go. We could
We're not arguing, we have 5 minutes.
we could possibly go more into depth next week, but like on why like we chose these people as our favorite Spider-Man.
That's it.
So
We
but
have to
that's
save
it for
that.
now. Like, comment, subscribe. We read all the comments. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Oh, yeah.
Good work, guys.